Good evening, guys. Quicksilver here. Just going to do another little live stream on Invade Annex development, scripting, whatever. The focus of this one's just going to be improving a couple AI behaviors, and then whatever else we decide to do, for as long as we decide to do it. And that's about it. Yeah, I just want to, I'm in here at the start, just to show off a little change to our flares that I've done. Get the time. It's hidden behind a little UI in the top corner. I need to make it darker, so yeah, I made just making like nighttime combat more interesting. You'll see what I mean. So let's go dark. All right. So I've made flares a bit brighter, and I could have done this a long time ago. But it's a real janky solution, which has a lot of performance issues when you do it, and you can end up with a lot of like how do you call it, like stray entities in the world and stray effects that can't be deleted because of it. But recently a new method has become available, so you'll see here. So I'll first show you vanilla flares, and here's what we're looking at in night vision. So vanilla flares, I've left the yellow flare as an IR flare, and you'll see this is like what vanilla flares look like. So shoot it, and there's the flare, and you can't see anything. It's just like a signal flare, pretty much. In the early days, like in the alpha, it used to be an illumination flare, but then at some point they changed it. Like they weren't happy with some of the effects. So they changed it and reduced the brightness of it. They reduced the brightness of a lot of things, sort of like in 2015. Like they did a brightness update and suddenly like fires were dark and like all the lighting effects were crappy. Like lightning wouldn't flash and stuff. And they never actually fixed that. So we'll see here what the change looks like. This is now the new updated flare. And firing. You can see it's much brighter. Provides some illumination, but it's not like huge. I guess we could go. Yeah, I didn't know you could hold Control and scroll wheel and change your zeroing like this. I always thought it was like page up, page down, but it's just Control and scroll wheel. So let's fire it up in the air properly and see what effect we get. Yeah, that's pretty high. It doesn't last for that long, like it lasts for a few minutes. Sorry, like 15-20 seconds. But it provides like a good amount of illumination during that time. There's also other, as you can see in the scroll menu up in the left, there's other options. So the yellow one, there's a little detail in the game in that there's like what you call IR flares, infrared flares, and they actually share the exact same property as yellow flares. So without getting like super detailed, actually I guess I could distinguish between yellow and IR. I'll have to work on that a bit more. But yeah, I left yellow flares as like so they're IR now. Like yellow flares are the same as IR. So it goes off, and you can see it's like not much, but then you turn your night vision on, and you can see there's like a light source over here, and that's in infrared. So in the dark, it's not like that. But you switch to night vision, and you can see it. But I think I'll do a little bit more work on the script and separate out yellow from IR. And then it's also got like it's also got colors, so we'll try red. It's not like a red paint color, but it's like a red glow sort of thing. Yeah, and it's a bit like I've scripted it so colored flares are a bit darker, like less illumination, just to encourage people to use the regular white ones. These ones are mainly for like signaling to like CAS and stuff, like red flare on this location sort of thing. So it's like, yeah, red flares are like a bit dimmer. And we'll try green flares as well. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long, long time, but only recently has it become possible, which is a lot of fun. So I'll switch to green flares, fire it up in the air. Love it. I love that. Super night vision. That's really cool. Let's see, it's not emitting as much light as like a white flare. That's intentional. So we'll shoot up a white flare and see the difference. It also works for mortars too, by the way. So like every time, it just works for that's like a much broader field with the white flare. Yeah, it works for mortars too, and mortar flares are like a bit more intense as well. So I'm gonna re-enable flares onto mortars that people can deploy. I disabled them just because they weren't useful for anything, but with this, it's much more encouraging to use. Yeah, so that's I think this is going to be a cool change, a welcome change. Like there's some mods like you gotta like Ace 3 or whatever, Ace mod, and of course they have bright flares, but you have to use mods, and then because you're using mods, like public servers don't work, they're not viable. You have to wait for your like Friday operation, and then you're like a private, you just gotta like stay back while the celebrities have fun, sort of thing. So anyways, this is like bringing a mod to a public server in an elegant and non-performance affecting way. Yeah, little aside at the start of this video. But what we're going to now, what's the time in game? So I want to skip forward a few hours. What we're going to be working on today is some AI stuff. Specifically two different things. I'm going to be working on suppressive fire, and also how do you call it, like occupied building assaults. So like if the AI detect that there's players in a certain building, they will do their best to attack it, to attack the building. So instead of just like wandering around the building, they will go into the building to root out the any players inside. So I have to figure out. This is like a bad AO for testing these sort of things. Like there's not many useful buildings here to use for testing. Maybe I'll spawn a building. Except they're gonna try to destroy it, so I gotta like make it invincible as well. So what's a good building for this? I think like structures. I'll do an ugly like Altus building. House large yellow. Alright, we'll use this one. Basically I'm creating a like an objective building. So cursor objects, low damage false. And now we're going to transport that building to the AO for use. Alright, so this is our target building. I want to make sure they don't have mortars either. Mortars can really like ruin this. Like they call in mortars very easily and very well. and that can interfere with what I want to do here. So I'm just looking at another screen. All right, so where am I gonna put it? I'll put it like not on the road, just right there. That's a good spot as any. And we're gonna spawn some blue 4 in it. So we'll put some. I don't seem to have the audio I should have. I'm gonna see my audio sources are. Okay. Hopefully. Oh no, I have like flashing screen here. My god, man, this program, man. It's just cumbersome. It like doesn't let me back into the game. There we go. Jesus. That's a tedious process. Alright, so we have... Wonder if that even worked. Why do I have no audio? I have to fix my audio problem. And now we're stuck outside the game again. Ay. Oh, we'll get back in eventually. This is like an annoying display bug. It like rotates me. There we go. Still have to like change my my audio. This is part of the problem too. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so ignoring that last like couple minutes. This is a good example right here. Like the AI are have noticed that there's enemies in this building. So they're starting to lay down like more suppressive fire in the building. I gotta get rid of this gun as well. Like this isn't classed as a machine gun. So the AI don't effectively use it for suppression like they would with this one. Like they use this one much better for suppression. I gotta get rid of this gun from the rotation. It's classed as like an assault rifle. Useless driving. Get rid of that. So I'm waiting to see it. Like they know there's targets in this building. And what I want to see, this is like before we do much work on it. So what I want to see, why am I just like a problem like with this live stream, just because of all that display flickering. It's not doing what we want. So if I can somehow fix it. Oh god, that's so frustrating. I don't know why it does that. It just doesn't let me back into the game. On that. Are we still going? I hope we're still going. I'm not sure, like this tank is just rolling. This is a pretty aggressive tank, it's not a bad thing. But I want to see infantry. I want to see infantry a little more aggressive. We're gonna start this test again. I'm just gonna get rid of these units, get rid of the building, and we're just gonna start the test again. So we're gonna cycle the AO. I don't like that AO. So I'm gonna cycle the AO, and then I'm also going to use a new building. Just want like a nice clean demonstration of how things are now, and then we'll start working on how we want them in the future. So where's the next AO gonna be? Somewhere up here. Yeah, if you missed it at the start of this video, I did like a demo of nighttime flares. Did some changes to that. Anyways, so we got here. Okay, this is a good location. I don't need to make my own building for this one. So I just want to test out how AI attack hostile buildings. And I've done some work on this already, so it's not... I'm just gonna spawn enemy in like a building over here. Get them to go prone, sort of. Like put them inside. There's already some suppression stuff going on that I've added. Just get them off the rooftops. Yeah, so I'm working on a couple things. First is like AI suppressing buildings. So see these units here, like they know that even if they can't see the target, they know there's enemies in this building. Like this guy here, not doing very, where's the shooter? So what they're going to try to do is just lay down some... Guy's shooting the wrong spot. Yes, we have to deal with Arma AI like this. That right there is part of the new behaviors. Not a great example. But what we're doing is getting enemies to suppress buildings that they know are hostile without even seeing the target. Like normally, like they wouldn't shoot at this building at all because they can't see any targets. But we know there's targets in there. Or they know that there's targets in there now. What I want to do is work on the behaviors that they choose to do. So one step will be like getting groups nearby to lay down like fire on the building that has players in it. Another step is like vehicles. I want vehicles to see, this guy knows there's enemies in there, but he's got the wrong kind of gun for engaging it, which is okay. Maybe this guy's got a better gun for it. So I'll move this guy closer. And maybe delete this guy. I want vehicles and like machine gunners to attack the building itself, not just like units, because they can't necessarily see the unit. So we'll get that in, and then I also want them to move into the building. Like I want them to go try to clear it. That's what we're going to be working on tonight. It may even be happening already. See this group right here, where there's like the group leaders like hanging back. You can start to maybe get rid of that sniper group as well. They're causing problems. It looks like it's already happening. So I have done some work on this already. The group leaders hanging back. but his subordinates are moving in. It's not what I want. Like, I want the whole squad to move up, so there's work to do tonight on that. See, this gunner knows that there's enemies in here. They're throwing frags. You can see in the chat. Wasn't a very good frag, like, landed here. But basically, I want the infantry and vehicles to be more aggressive against enemy-occupied buildings. They are moving around, but this isn't quite what I want. Like, if he goes up the stairs, then I'll be happy. What do we got here? Gunner isn't really doing much. I think he will. Like, I put a very long cooldown on, like, time cooldown on suppressive fire. Okay, this is good. So he's like opening the door and going in, which is pretty good. This guy's found like an overwatch position on the building. See, ideally this guy is firing bursts into the building already. That's what the behavior we're gonna add. So this Ifrit will be like shooting at this building here. Just speculative attacks, like not shooting at a target, but just shooting in hopes of hitting something. Yeah, we'll be working on that. I wonder why this truck's coming over here. Like, usually they just mess around, but this guy's actually going somewhere. I'm not seeing what I want as far as enemy moving into the building yet. And I'm like afraid to tab out to check what's going on in the console just because of this flickering issue. We're gonna have to just deal with some annoyance for a moment. I wonder why these guys are just hanging around. Like, I want to see the state of... These are like subordinate move commands right here, where like the group leader's stationary and the subordinates are moving up to the building. It's just they're not going inside just yet. So we'll see if we can work on that. Wish the vehicles always drove this well. Still not what I want to see. Like, in real time, a lot of these AI would be getting killed just by players doing what they do. I think they've actually lost sight of, like, who's even shooting over here? This guy? He's shooting at. There's gonna be a fair bit of observation in this video. No, it's not a skill level thing. They're throwing frags. Like, is new behaviors we're adding, like improving frags and stuff. It's not a skill level thing. It's just there's some work to do on our like what this system was before was the AI would just occasionally pick a random building and do a patrol inside. And there's no logic to which building they would choose. This... what is this guy doing? He's just shooting. Just shooting. This is like, this is something I'm adding, but he's just not engaging the targets he should be. I'm gonna stand these guys up for a moment, just to get the enemy to reacquire their position a bit better. Yeah, no, it's not skill, it's just the system I use for having AI move into a building is not where it needs to be yet. Like, Like I'll show in, I have a script, like there's a script attached to Zeus, which is a pretty good demo. See, I want them to like, I want them to act a bit like this. Yeah, this squad's moving. Like this is some Zeus scripted stuff that I have. Like if you're Zeus on your server, you can use this. But this is basically what I want. This is what I want to see. Oh my god, they're getting mowed down. Okay. Yeah, this is what I want to see from general AI, and we're not seeing it yet. So you can see I do have the tools already. So I'm not... It's not like I'm comfortable with being able to get this done. It's just, yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. We're working on that. We're turning this... Like, you might go, nah, he's just dicking around. They love this corner here, hey? Like, they just stand at this corner and just do stuff from there. This guy should be suppressing. Throwing smoke in the chat, you can see. Yeah, they're not behaving as desired yet. I just stood them up, that's why they're shooting. Yeah. Once again, we're gonna turn that we see here into this little demo right here. So this is what I want to see. I want to see in reverse actual movement, like squad level movement like this. So we'll see what we can get. So they're moving in. Yeah. That's what we're going for. So we can see where we are right here and over there where we need to get to. And that's one component of what we're working on. The other component is suppressive fire stuff, which also is a bit wonky at the moment. It's improving. It's just like this demo is a good to show that it's not quite where it needs to be. So look at this Ifrit. He's like full gone up to an Overwatch position. This is what like a sneaky part of AI. Are they moving in? Oh my god, there's like a guy in here. They've actually gone in. This is what I was waiting for, like while I was sort of fluffing around, is because I knew I'd already put some stuff in for the AI to approach. It's like they're already done. It's going back now. So yeah, I'd already put some stuff in, it's just it's not working very well. So I might want to take, just lift the code out of what we have for Zeus and drop it onto AI squad. Just wondering how to do that. There's a couple problems to address. One is that like there's already like group waypoint stuff going on. Like the group leader here is obeying his waypoints while his subordinates are trying to obey this like move in and assault order. So we have to turn off the group waypoint stuff for a short time to allow them to carry this out. So I'm just thinking like of how to go about doing this. So we'll go into our code for a bit. We got some work to do. in Notepad. I'm just going to drop the server as well. Oh my gosh, it's not even letting me. Just close Arma, please. Just close. Just go away. We'll get rid of this MP mission. Okay, here's our files. AI file. Which one is it in? It's in handle group A. This is a script I have. It's basically like a one-stop shop for all group behaviors that we have. And it controls like we don't. You might have noticed if you've ever run a server with this, is that unlike most missions or all missions, we don't use waypoints. Just to cut down on network traffic, because waypoints add like some network bandwidth overhead. So I don't use waypoints. I use like move orders, and I cycle through move orders, which moves them along quite fine. It's just yeah, something different. So what I have to do though is put a I have some attack, I have some assault orders, but I'm not sure how easy it will be to deal with these garrison building stuff. Where's our system? So our entry for the building attack is right here. This is like one of them. So the infantry which patrol around the zones. Every now and then, if the server FPS is good enough, then we allow like building patrols. So where if is no patrol nearby building, this isn't right at the moment. Like this bit here is not right. I think I do have a correct bit somewhere else in this file. I'm gonna do a yeah. Okay, so I've improved. I've been working on this system. I wonder what the difference is between patrol nearby building and search nearby building. I think I've already done some of this work. It just needs to be added to both places. I wonder why. Is this not? Why is it? Why is the screen blank again? This isn't what I want. It should just show a screen. I'm not sure why we're getting like this. I'm gonna broke something. So we'll see. I might restart it. I might restart this stream. Hopefully it comes back though. I'm not sure. Why is it not back like it should be? I'm gonna give it a minute and then okay. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're back. Alright. So let's get started again. Yeah, I have like a script here, which is like a one-stop shop for AI waypoints, AI behaviors. So instead of waypoints, which had some like waypoints have like a network component as well, like they're synchronized over network, which I'd rather like because we have so many AI in groups. I opted not to use waypoints, just to cut down on bandwidth. To make like things more smooth, I guess you'd call it. Like less, better performance. That's all. So this is like our script that we use to replace waypoints, and it's got a bunch of different behaviors in it. And one of them is the ability to search nearby buildings. So right here's where's how it used to be. Maybe this. Yeah, okay. This is how it used to be, where they just like they pick a random building, so there's no. So like this is what the group's general standing orders are, is to like patrol around an area. And then every now and then we allow them to, if they're the lucky ones to get picked and there's not too many other groups doing it at once, we allow them to patrol a nearby building if they have one nearby. But it's completely random. Like the building they choose is just random. So I want to, and I've already done some work on it. I want to change it so they're so they're like patrolling hostile buildings or buildings that they believe are hostile. So this is the old system down here. Around line 425. And then I've changed it slightly up here to incorporate hostile buildings. Now we keep like a record. The server keeps a record, or the AI system keeps like an updated list of buildings that they believe have players in it. So I wanted to tap into that list to get them to search properly. So what we have here, yeah, this is correct. I think I just have to lift this out. This block basically checks hostile buildings, checks if the group leaders, like, I'm going to extend this a bit out to 300. Checks if the group leader is less than like 300 meters away. And then if he is, then we execute like a search building script. And so, but the one problem I think is that when like this script will be in progress, but this larger function will still be getting executed on the group. So what we have to do is not give them further like move orders until a cooldown is finished. So I want to add in a line here to exit if there's something in progress. And I should have done this a while ago, but I guess it didn't occur to me until I work on something like this. So we have here a group set variable group AI script, and I'm going to use this variable here to do an exit with. So if exit with. So this is step one. So group get variable group AI script. So we'll chuck like an is null here. If is null, group get variable group script null. So yeah, that should exit this whole system if they have a script in progress. And that will help, like the group leader should stay with his group. And then I want to, I'm just like looking at this to make sure the logic's all correct. I'll tighten up some of these values a bit. 246. Yeah, it's an absolute pain in the ass, that flickering stuff. It happens to me when I'm streaming, which is irritating. So I'm just looking at the logic for this, just to make sure, because we're not only am I live streaming, but I'm also trying to do this work as well. I want to set this. Yes, you should, when you're designing stuff, you set these random values to to 0, just so you can see them happening instead of be randomized. Randomized is for like gameplay to add like unpredictability to things, so turn that off for a second. And then there's another spot in this function, or in this script, where this stuff gets used. Also I wanna. This is like the old generic one, and it's so like if they can't find a target building, then they'll execute like their normal building patrol stuff. But I want to focus on the hostile building stuff here. So that's fine. But then there's another one down here that we have to work on. We're just gonna copy and paste pretty much. We'll come out to this random one here. And we're going to just drop it in right here. Change our values again. 2, 4, 6. And now I have to look at this. I want to see how we do it with Zeus. Like, how do we propel units so well with Zeus? Okay, so with Zeus we use the search nearby building function, which works quite well. Handily I have it open. How is it called? What are its parameters? So I'll have a look here. So we get the group, and then the target building and the number of building positions. So count this greater than this. It's greater than 1. Array is this select 1. Okay. I might do some. Definitely gonna optimize the script a bit. It's just been a while since I've looked at it, and I can see some places where I can do better. But yeah, it has what it needs. So I don't want to disable the targeting. I wonder why I did that. I wonder if I'm gonna end up realizing why I did that and put it back, which is often what I end up doing. So set behavior we can do. Set behavior strong, pretty good. Just going to check our scripting commands to make sure. That this works well. Yep, that's fine. Forget targets. This just like disengages them from their fight. This turns off some of the AI stuff, which gets them to like stand still. We want them to keep moving. Speed them up a bit. Get them to run max speed. Disable stamina. Just get them moving. I wonder. Yeah, so this is an older script that needs some work. I'll definitely improve it, but functionally it works fine. So we're not going to touch it yet. If it's not broken, don't touch it. So we're not going to touch it until things are doing what I want. So the function is good. Search nearby building. So we'll go in and see. Yeah, so I think I've done this like correctly. I'm just gonna add in a debug line here. So debug group search building, and then remote exec that so we can see when it gets executed. Get our target building, reach hostile buildings, X distance, less than that, script null. I wonder if script null or script done. I wonder script done or script null. That's important. It's an important differentiation. Script done versus script null. I have to check that. Script null, like maybe it never returns null once you start it. Checked if a null script can be created. Script done. Script done becomes. Script done, script handle. I think I've used whatever I got here has just been used to good effect before. So I'm gonna change this bit that I put in. If is null. I wonder if that's all I need. I wonder. I'm gonna chuck in another debug. And I've also, this is a bug as well. I have to do not is null. Script in progress. Debug script in progress. Exit. If not is null. Group script null. Cool. I just wonder if it's is null or script done. Like in this function over here, which works perfectly, I use is script done. So I might switch to script done. Not script done. Script null. Well, we'll try that anyways. That's this component. And then I want to work on some unit stuff as well, like some suppressive fire stuff. So come over to the suppressive, or to the unit handler, and this is like all the unit level behaviors, like stuff that the individual units do, whereas this is like the group, and the unit. So we have some suppressive fire stuff here. This is like just some of the suppressive fire stuff and some of the AI stuff we're working on. But it's definitely an important bit. I just think I have a cooldown in here. Script. I want to allow a few more support scripts than that. We'll allow 2 at a time. Where are we? MG. Last suppressive fire. Grid 6. Yeah, I'm just having a look at what we got here. Object parents. I'm just wondering why they're not engaging as they should. Last suppressive fire. SF event. Hostile building. Wonder if impause. They should be able to. So maybe they just can't see the aim pause of the building. Maybe we'll pause that check for a bit and do if object parent distance to the x less than say 500. then I just wonder if the aim pause check is failing because it's at like the center. I don't know. We'll see. And then this is like the backup suppressive fire thing I'm testing. This is why they're like firing into midair, because I use the get hide from command, which can produce erroneous results. Yeah, basically, that's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're spawning a light source at the flare location and adjusting the intensity. The trick is that all those commands are local, so you have to have that happen on every player's machine. So every player has to execute the same code. That's the only trick with light stuff. That it's not global effect, not network global. It's like network local. So, and I'm just looking here, not suppressing alive. Green 0. Fire vehicle attack target. Test bar 1. ATL to ASL. I'll try test bar 2 this time. Testing some different suppressive fire things. I came in here to check how long the cooldown was for suppressive fire. I was wondering why they weren't suppressing very well. Greater than UI time greater than. This all seems fine. 90-second delay. It's okay. I'm gonna add in a line here. So the problem is this is like this vehicle stuff only applies to. This is another thing I was doing. The vehicle stuff only applies to tank gunners, and I wanted to apply it to more vehicles. So we're gonna come in here and do if is nil. This area is for like setting up variables of units. Is nil get variable AI unit, and we'll just do like V gunner. And we're sort of copying this block below, but not one for one. Oop. Quite simply, we want to get if not is null object parent unit. I can do maybe I'll do it nested just to keep people happy. And want to make sure that he's also just the normal vehicle gunner, so unit in gunner object parent unit. Maybe throw another bracket there. Okay, so this means if the AI is in a vehicle or on a vehicle, and the unit is in this array of positions, and one of them is like the gunner position, then we will make him a good little gunner. So how do we do it? We just go, I think we just go units variable. Vgunner, true to false, else. I could change that, how that is syntax a bit, but I don't know, it just works how it is. Okay. Not as null object parent unit and unit in gunner object parent unit. Am I getting the vehicle vehicle anywhere? No. I'm using object parent a few times. I wonder if it's useful to get a variable for that. Like put object parent. Maybe we're gonna use it anyways, so maybe just put it up there. So I don't have to call object parent as much. So I'll just replace some of this stuff. Object parent. And then a couple times down here as well. Just small, tiny optimization, I guess you'd call it. Yeah, just the less time you call commands, the better, especially in a script like this, which is getting executed quite frequently. Yeah, there's an actual butt ton of if statements. A lot of people disagree with it, but it just works. It just hard to describe. Like when people disagree on things like that, like oh, there's a lot of if statements. You just ask them like, hey, well, let's see your game mode, and there's no real response. Like I can improve it, but it is something to have it work. I could do I can do it like this with multiple conditions. But I don't like, I'd rather just keep going on this script than like double back and try to fix things all the time. So not as null object parent unit in gunner object parent. Then unit set variable vgunner. So we'll take our variable here. I'm also gonna set a. Actually, no, I want to set a same thing on tank gunner. Keep them separate. So we'll come down to our AI suppressive fire stuff. And I'm just going to read it. Unit behavior, hostile buildings. So yeah, we will do a couple. We'll just add in an or here, just to allow both vehicle gunners and tank gunners to execute this bit. So that looks okay. There's also like I can vary. I can take our object parent function or variable and just hide this stuff so that oh fine, I'll do it that way. and something like that. Okay, now there's null object parent and then we want to also nest a bit of that. Yeah, it's a lot of if statements. You can't really get around them. Like you can do it, you can cut down a little bit. Um, you can't really get rid of all of them. I can get rid of a few, but doesn't really change much. So not as null object parent and you get variable tank gunner or you get variable vehicle gunner. Then we'll go into this suppressive fire block where they attack the hostile building itself. I'll put a bit of code up here somewhere for the suppressive fire. Go. That's it. Okay. Put a bit of code in here as well. Just to check if they're targeting properly. That, do suppressive fire. Okay. I think I'm about ready to do some testing. I'm not sure if I want to just turn this off or not. Maybe I'll just set the default to like 3 so I can turn it on if I want to or not. So it doesn't get used unless I want it. Alright, so we'll go just launch the game again and then see what we got. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do in this file. Like this, there's a lot of good behaviors in here, and the way, like how we're able to use this so effectively is that we don't use concurrency. Uh-oh, am I gonna get NVIDIA issues again? Okay, I hope not. So we don't use concurrency with that file, so it just steps through all the valid units and executes that one at a time on all of them. So we get advanced AI behaviors without like a big performance overhead, and the drawback is that we have to do it infrequently, so the AI behaviors are not like um, super reactive. So it executes like every 30 seconds or so, 15 30 seconds, something like that, and that allows us to keep a better standard of performance FPS wise. Alright, so we'll kick our server up, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's actually a lot that happens here. AI rearming, frag throwing. I wonder what this does. Do move. Interesting. That moves to the target position. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that actually work. I might just take this bit out. Not sure I've ever seen it work. Yeah, so we'll go in. Oh my god. I'm getting stuck outside of Arma again. This is just brutal. This flickering stuff, man. I just don't get it. It just makes me cringe. It's like, why bother dicking around with NVIDIA? Yeah, now the stream's getting like the stream's getting dicked around again. Oh my god. Too much. Too much. I can't deal with it. Alright. I think we're in. So we'll see what we got. See what we got. Hopefully no script errors. I'm like afraid to go look at script errors because it glitches me out now. And I don't have them like popping up. They should pop up on the screen for client, but not for server stuff. So we'll just get off the ship, teleport to our mainland, and try to find a building in here that we can occupy with AI. Maybe get rid of those mortars for a start. They will ruin things. Alright, I'm gonna appropriate this building. I'll go. Nope. Yeah, so we'll take over this building here. Actually, that's probably enough units. We could measure how many seconds that function's taking, but it does so much that it's not really something it might be worth doing, but there's so many variables in there that it would be hard to get like an accurate reading. I mean, the only like performance drawback in there might be the number of if statements, but if is a very fast command, so I'm not too worried about it. The main thing I'm worried about is getting this stuff working. Like, it's hard enough just getting AI stuff working. I've never had script performance issues. Like, beside the weight, like what would the difference look like in performance next to all these AI? Like all these AI are running their own systems. So what would the difference in performance look like between like a good script and a bad script? Would it add up to like 2 AI? So I could have 2 more AI in the mission if I do an excellent job optimizing a script. I don't know. That's the way my mind works. It's like next to all this, you know, good is good enough almost. So I wonder why I should be getting. I think because they're not in like combat mode or something. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll lay them down now. I thought I told them to lay down. Oh, they're just shooting through the walls. Yay. Okay, so we should hopefully see some action. I may have to tab out just to check console. Because I do want to see like better AI than this. This isn't what I'm hoping for. I want to see AI group actually go in and attack. But instead they're just like cruising around. Hmm. What do I have to do? It's really frustrating that I can't, um, algorithm for AI to search the building. No, there's nothing fancy. They just cruise around to different building positions. Beyond that, like if you do complex stuff, players don't notice that. Like, if this is a player, he doesn't notice all the fancy calculations for clearing a building. He just notices when the AI walks to the door. So you don't really need to go too detailed with some of that stuff, in my opinion. Ah, these AI are doing a better job suppressing than. Okay, well he walked in. That's good. That's progress. Like this guy's gonna go into. Unfortunately, the group leader's not keeping up. See, like the group leader's way off over here, while his like subordinates are cruising around. I have to do something about that. That's definitely something that needs to be handled. So vehicles should be targeting a hostile building now. No? I should exclude air vehicles from that stuff too. I mean, we're getting something, like they're coming towards the doors. Let's see, if we can get some AI running into buildings here. This is obviously not what I want, like there's still a lot of work to do. No like groups close either. Needs to be more nearby groups which can execute this script. Yeah, no, like I've been thinking about changing the script so the AI like prefer to move towards the top of a building, like the most elevated building positions. So that's probably gonna happen. But doing too much with how they search buildings isn't really something I'm too interested in, just because their building movement isn't really that good, anyways. It looks like we're getting some life here. Like AI are sort of converging on our hostile building. I can't necessarily see the AI inside, but they are sort of converging and moving in. I'll show you what we're going for though. Like, I spawn like a. That was a pretty bad frag. Wrong building, bro. Yes, I'm not quite seeing what I should see. What I should see right here, instead of all this like faffing around, like they're going in, like this guy's searching. Um, but they don't actually know where the enemy are in this building. Like they've never seen it. The the script is just telling them patrol this building, which I think is okay. Like this unit here shouldn't know where this unit down here is. He should just be like going in with no god knowledge, which is fine. I wonder where these frags are gonna land. They're throwing frags as well. No, if you So they are converging. Like this is, if they were doing this faster, this is what I'd want to see. All right, they've cleared the building, and now the dynamic simulation has like halted them just because there's no hostile team nearby. Like there's no blue 4 nearby. The dynamic simulations kicked in and switched them all off. I wonder what this guy's doing. Going for a swim. This is the new GPS jammer. Be mobile in the future eventually. But I'll show you what I want to see. Like if I back all these, just gotta do some stuff here. Gotta back all these AI off a little bit. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. So what I'm gonna do, I'll put these guys in here again. And then what I want to see is like, all right, guys, down you get, down you get. What I want to see is like this. Yeah, these guys are like running in pretty hard. And they'll just keep moving in, so they'll just go right in. This is what we're going for. We're not there yet. But we have gone from AI like entering random buildings at random to AI like entering hostile buildings primarily. This is a nice sneaky Ifrit, or a nice sneaky Strider over here. Okay. So, I wonder why. I wonder why. I'm gonna check our scripts again. No, I'm gonna be unable to get back in game because of the flickering. Pasted a link above, which will take. I know that guy, yeah. On Bohemia. I don't see the link anywhere. What we're gonna do is check out our search nearby building function. Group lock waypoint true. Might not have a waypoint though. Like we don't. These groups don't have a waypoint. This isn't quite the right script. Just checking what we need to do to make it work. Leader command move. Okay. I don't want to dick with this. Like I don't want to mess with this script too much. It works how it is. But we also need need to handle our special AI, which don't have waypoints. Yeah, I know this script, this one here is not very well optimized. It's been a while since I've touched it, and we'll optimize it soon. It's just for now, it's mainly about functionality. So I want to get the group's waypoint. So unfortunately, the group can have like a static sticky waypoint at 000 position. Group lock waypoint true. Do I need that lock waypoint thing anymore? I might turn that off. So do stop. So do we'll just test something out. Do stop leader. Because we are, I'll get rid of all this command moves. Just want do move. Yeah, so I just have it like random building positions. I don't mind it, like it works. But that will be changing. It's just a lower priority to make it change. Just do stop leader. I wonder what effect that's gonna have though. So like I have to undo like with how I propel groups around. I use the move command. Which is nice. But group move. And then go. The building isn't defined yet, so I have to do this later. Do stop leader. I already have that. I've already done that down here. Like, yeah, how about that? Okay. Group move. Unfortunately, the leader is not going where he should with the system. I wonder what's going on here. Active waypoints will be ignored. I just found this command's the best for propelling AI around. It's just hard to like. There's no cancel. There's no easy cancel of this. Like do move has do stop as like the as the way to cancel. I think there's like a stop order as well. Stop AI unit. That's in like SQS though. Super old. So I have to get the group to move. Tricky. Group move. Alright. Well. Building exit equals select random building exits. Just see what this does. The move works well for subordinates, but not for group leaders. It's just this, and then this, and then this. I'm not sure what effect that's going to have. That's a bit of experimentation. It's all good. Whoa, no flickering. Okay, cool. What else can we test? Actually, we'll just keep running this a bit. We'll spawn our own building. Go structures, Alta City, large yellow house. Put it up on the hill here. There's a fair bit of trial and error in this. Like, it's an absolute pain. Just the way working with AI is. So I got some groups nearby. It's a massive group. What on earth? Why can't I select the group? There we go. Alright, so they know this building's hostile now. So we'll see if they move forward. I just want to see the state of this again before we go back to our scripts. can see here they can't actually see any of the units, but he's just suppressing the building itself. But that's the whole idea of this. It's just that occasionally the AI will just shoot at buildings they know have hostiles in it. And hopefully combined, like, they'll just be shooting at the building with, like, speculative attacks. And they're fragging the building as well. This guy can't see a target, he's just shooting. These guys are all prone in here. Move them off to the side. Maybe move them all upstairs, in case. This is what I want. Like, I want them just suppressing known occupied buildings, which is good. Not too much to the point where it's like obnoxious, but enough where it's interesting. This guy's also aware of what's going on in this vehicle. This guy should have orders to attack the building, actually. Just coming over for a look, I guess. Chilling. But I'm not seeing the actual moving in and attacking stuff yet. So I can see this group here. Yeah, this is good. I mean, that's pretty good. Like, they're tossing frags. They're suppressing the crap out of the building. And they can't see. Like, these guys are all prone. So they can't see, but they know they're in there, so they're just shooting. They've got some smoke down. It looks like this group here, like this guy's the leader. Looks like this group here is moving up. But I want him a bit closer. Yeah, that's the point. Kill the players inside. My job as a co-op mission maker is primarily to kill players. This is like, this guy's providing cover for these groups going in. This guy should be shooting though. Unfortunately, I think he's not in a gunner seat. He's in a commander seat. Like, so I have to. Okay, well, he's shooting as well, so he's just gonna shoot. He's shooting the center of the building. He's not spraying around, which is okay. Like, I don't need him to. So he's suppressing the building too. I don't need him to. I wonder why. I think because he's a tank gunner as well. We're just not getting the actual assault like we want. Once again, I will show what we're going for. I don't think we're going to get here to where we need to go tonight. It's obviously something else going on with this move command stuff. And it's going to take more trial and error, like in the editor, just to see what these commands do. Where are they tossing? Yeah, they're fragging the building as well. I wonder why they're tossing smoke. I have that in there. Whoa, okay. Yes, they're also strafing the building with Cass. Yeah. like those scripts which are not necessarily well optimized, they're also doing all this interesting stuff. And to have that all work in like a big mission without killing FPS is, and I think it's pretty cool. There's definitely script optimizations to do, but it's not a primary focus of mine at the moment. Alright, we're gonna see again what we want. What are they shooting at? What do you see, buddy? Okay, so we'll see what we want right here again. Rifle squads. Get it down. This is what we're going for once again. Thing is, this group does not have a move order applied to it, so they're not constrained in that manner. So they just go in. Looks like they missed the door a little bit. There they go. So I mean, this is random. Like, there's no special logic for what they're doing here. But I'm not convinced that there needs to be. I'll check that script out though. I'll check that script out. Oh, he just came through this there. That sucks. Yeah, the GBU stuff. Like, I can show you how the GBU stuff works. That is also a part of this unoptimized script. So the 77th uses these functions. Like, they use this framework as well. They. By the way, the 77th is a fucking awesome server, awesome community. They've done an amazing job. In my opinion, they're like the example of what I wish other communities would do as far as like taking the framework and like making it their own and doing a bunch of their own cool shit with it. Like, I think they have set the bar very high, and there's a reason. Like, it's history now, but a long time ago I went to like many years ago I went to their I think they're running like domination or insurgency before. And I went to them and I gave them like a custom like private copy of Invade Annex way back when. Just to introduce them, to get them hooked on it. And they're a very cool bunch of people. I love, Mad Trap, Knight, all them. Very, very cool guys. Um, and yeah, so anyways, let's have a look. Yeah, so they're using this frameworks. They're using this script as well. And how the GBU stuff works is AI units. It's down to the bottom here. After a whole bunch of if statements. So yeah, if the unit is like a group leader and he's in combat and he's got a radio in his pack, then he's allowed to execute support requests. So he can request like fire support. I used to have like a suppression thing here, so if he's getting suppressed, like only if he's getting suppressed could he call fire support. But I found it was more interesting just to let them we don't necessarily need this. I already get this up elsewhere in the script. Yes, I allow the group leader to call support. Group leaders are often identified by the radio backpacks, the radio bag they're wearing. And then they iterate through, so they build up like a list of targets in radius. And then they filter it down by getting like how accurate their understanding is. Like, so their target is like not incapacitated. So the target's not an aircraft, so they can only target things that are on the ground. Get recent targets like this their target intel has to be fresh for them to be able to target. And then we filter by like the like every time you kill a unit, your rating goes up. So we filter and target the highest rated player, or the highest rated player from this list of nearby targets. So probably like a sniper or something. Or you guys don't have snipers, but just the most effective player gets targeted first. They shouldn't necessarily be able to do this. Like rating is like god knowledge, so AI shouldn't have god knowledge. But players don't have to know that this is happening. So yeah, if they have a valid target, then they have a menu of fire supports they can request from. One is like artillery. The artillery battery's up. That's like the first go-to is artillery. Next on the list is mortar. If they have mortars available, they'll definitely. That's a nice selection. They have CAS helicopters available. This is like we don't normally give them like Cosmans or gunships. So they have like orcas, and orcas aren't that great. This is like a backup. It works well sometimes, but not the best. And then here's the bread and butter. So they have their CAS plane here. And the smoke gets popped somewhere here. I'm not sure if you guys still use the smoke. I think you've taken it out. But yeah, so I pop smoke down here. Do I? Random one greater than 6 smoke pause. Interesting. So it's CAS plane. It doesn't always pop smoke. Wonder why. I gotta figure that why I have this line in. Smoke pause, smoke shell. I'm not sure this line is supposed to be here. Greater than 3. So the majority of the time, they will get a smoke shell, maybe even more than a majority. Okay. So yeah, he'll also do like a radio signal, like with his hands, to indicate that he's like on the radio doing something. And then he'll call in a fire mission, or he'll put out like your support request. Actually, no, like he will look for support providers. So there's a CAS jet in the air that's like a support provider, and then he will distribute a mission or give a mission to the support provider. And if that's not available, then the backup is like UAV. These are really dirty. Like they drop bombs from very high, very silent, no indication. But they don't actually like. They're not actually dropping on the player necessarily. This function here, target knowledge, it is what it is. It is what it says. So it's like what the unit knows about the target. So if you hide behind a building and then run away, the unit will still think you're at the building, so he'll call support on the building even though you've like ran away already. So like that's pretty handy. So it's not actually god knowledge here, like with the support stuff. You'll often see like bombs getting dropped and not hitting anything, or like where players used to be. So I made sure that they didn't have god knowledge with their support providing. And then that goes into like the fire mission function, which is like how the AI targets and everything. But yeah, so this is all part of the unit level AI stuff that we have. It's not random. It's not accident. It's been designed, but it's very organic as well. So it feels good. Like if you're like a sniper and you're being stealthy and no one's shooting at you, you're not gonna get a bomb called on you. It's only like players who are in combat, like they'll know. They'll know that they're getting targeted, and they won't complain that they're getting targeted. Maybe with how many bombs get dropped, but anyways, so What do we do about this? I think we have to go to like. Actually, I can do some tests on the server. I can do some. If I can get back in. Yeah, the if you want to stop them, like that's yeah, like that's like we put radio backpacks on the group leaders to like they don't actually do anything with the radio backpack. It's purely to indicate to players that they are the group leader. Um, so yeah, killing radio guys is a good strategy. That's the group leader, and he calls cast. So all right. So now I want to do some diagnostics here. I have to test. So I'll put down a just a medic. So how do we do this? I need to do some diagnostics to see what some of the AI commands do, and I don't really want to leave the server. So I'm just going to do some testing here. US unit. I'll give them a group. And then, actually, I want to get his group as well. QS unit group cursor object. So what we're doing, like, I'm testing what happens when I stack some different move commands. I just want to see why the group leader is remaining behind with the AI stuff we're doing. I'll do QS unit pause 1 is position player. I don't know. I am not going to be porting Invade Annex to Arma 4. I think I know how. I know the time commitment involved in making game modes to like a high standard, and I do not want to commit to that time requirement anymore. And I don't want to do anything that's not at a high standard. So I won't be doing game mode stuff. I might do like an AI mod or something cool. Maybe database, like a database mod or something. But not a game mode. I think I've been there. I've done that, and leave it up to the next generation of modders. My Invade Annex stuff isn't going to Arma 4. Leave someone else to do that. Anyways, so what I want to do is get QS unit group unit group move QS unit pause 1. And then I want to interrupt them and go QS unit group do move or just trying to create like a terrible and debug console. Do move sleep 5 10 X do move QS unit pause 2 So I'm gonna get them to just do the move order to pause 1 and then do move to pause 2. Reach units group. System chat start. System chat end. Alright. We will see what happens. Our group starts moving. And then 10 seconds later. Of course it works like flawlessly with AI, like AI that I spawn. Of course it just works flawlessly, right? Try like do stop X for each QS unit, QS unit group. If I can type. Do stop X. See, they are pushing ahead of the group leader, which is what I've seen. And I don't necessarily want that. Do move. How do I undo a do stop? X do move. Try command move. Any difference? This unit. Pause 1. Any difference? So they're moving. Yeah, definitely some odd stuff. Not what I want. Sure, while I'm out in the field again, I might just show off the flares. At least the flares are working. Skip time -6, I think. Server exec. We're in the dark. So here's our flares. I've shown it before. We'll do our white flare. We'll just launch it. This is gonna be our new. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the moving, like the AI moving. I gotta do some more focused work on that. I won't do that on stream because it's very tedious to do that stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be our new flares. Higher the better, I guess. To create some nice effects. So this is coming. This is coming. I'm not sure if it works for like the 3GL, like shooting 3 flares at once. Like I think it only works for the first flare in those 3 flares, which is unfortunate, but good enough. So those are like the white flares, like the bright ones. There's our group down there. And then we got green flares. These are going to be fully functional in our next build. I'm quite happy with them. It's actually been something that has worked better than my expectations. Good, nice green flares. They illuminate a good bit, but a bit darker than our white flares, which is important. And then our red flares. They're not super red, like they're not I'm excited. I'm actually like, have you seen the bottom corner? Like, have you seen the bottom corner down here? Bottom right corner. I'm actually on dev build just so I can use, because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now is related to new tech in 210. So I have no desire to be working on 208 anymore. There's more useful stuff. Yeah, here's our red flares. And then here's vanilla flares. I'll shoot some vanilla ones as well. This is a vanilla flare. It's the light. Actually, that's better than vanilla flares. That's got some stuff done to it. But that's the illumination they provide. It's just not much. So, big difference between that and that. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of 3GL flares don't work too well. Nothing I can do about that though. So it works for like the first flare in the 3. What was that? Alright, we got stuck out again. Alright, well, here again, I suppose. 2.10. The main thing is they've got a couple guys like modders who I used to work with, not friends, but like acquaintances, like guys who I used to figure stuff out with, who are actually like working for Bohemia now. And they action a lot of requests that I put in. So if I put in a request, like most of the feedback tickets and like bug reports and stuff I've put out, and most of the requests I've done in the last few years, they've actually like taken care of it and like fixed it, which is pretty cool. So they got a couple of very awesome, talented guys working for Bohemia now, who are working on Arma 3 stuff still. So it's like an amazing. We're just very lucky to have that. By the way, the yellow flare, I have it configured as an IR flare right now. So when you're in night vision, like when you're just normal, nothing. When you're in night vision, it does like it does produce light in night vision. But I'll be changing that. So I'll be setting yellow as yellow, and then the IR flares will be IR flares. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much longer. There's a lot of AI stuff that I have to work on, and it is hard to do it on stream because of this flickering issue that I have. Unfortunately. What else can I? What else is coming? Oh yeah, there's something I can show. So I'll go skip times 6 again. Oops, that was local. New server. Adding some suppression effects as well. I don't think I love that fog down there. I changed yeah, those two guys, yeah. Deadman and Killzone Kid. Killzone Kid's a funny one, like um if I talk to him he won't respond, but like if I make a request, he won't talk to me, but like a month later the request will be completed. So he's a really cool guy. I learned a lot off him in the early days, like 2013, 14, 15. Like he was one of the main like resources for designing stuff. I changed to Noah's Fog a bit because it was like overpowering a little bit, so I reduced the fog base. It's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be fog. It's supposed to only be foggy when it's raining. As like, if it's raining, then it makes sense to have like this real humid, close to the ground stuff. But it didn't turn out that way. Yeah, those two guys are awesome. Like, especially recently. Like, there's been a few things recently that have just changed how I feel about continuing doing stuff. That's why I'm still doing stuff, is because they've added some changes that make it worthwhile for me. Yeah, we're adding suppression effects. I'll just show it off here a little bit. So get a couple auto riflemen. Oops, it's too many. Alright, so the way I have suppression set up here is that when you see them, like suppression effects can be annoying. Like your screen's like flickering for no reason. So I have it set as like feedback if you're being shot by people you don't see. Like there's no suppression effects here, there's just like vanilla, nothing. But then when you turn your head, you're being shot from the side. Then you get suppressed. But if you're turning to like face them and attack, that goes away. Just so it's not annoying. Which I think is like I think it feels good. Yeah, so this is coming as well. I think no, it's not live yet. It's not on the current build yet. I could make it better, but I'd have to do some like texture stuff, and I just like the lazy way, to be honest. So yeah, I think some suppression effects. Just kill them that way. That works better. All right, what else can we do? I think that'll be the last time we go in game on the stream. So I'll just shut the server down there. I'm doing more, but like modifying this function here is gonna take some work that I just don't want to do on stream with this flickering shit. So yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for tonight. Oh, the epilepsy thing. Yeah, that's a good point. We could that's a good point. I don't know what to do. I'll probably do what other games do. Um, like if you go play squad or something, I'm not sure you can turn that off. But because this is like more casual co-op, maybe it should be a way to turn it on and off. But I just don't want players to like min-max and just turn it off because it affects their ability to murder bots. Um, so I don't know. I'll see what other games do. I purposely didn't add too many effects like that because it distracts more than increases immersion or whatever. Like it just adds distractions. What else? So what is coming in the next Arma update? You got 2.10. I don't think there's too much, not too many script commands. I'm using a few of these, this new thing. Definitely using this one, this freefall stuff. I'm not really touching this new namespace stuff yet. I just I don't need it yet. And then this optics mode stuff, maybe I'll use in the future, but this update that I'm working on is mainly like AI related. So it's mainly like AI stuff. So I don't really need some of this stuff yet. Not yet. But I will be using some of it. Anyway, I think that's good enough for now. I'm gonna do another stream maybe tomorrow once this AI stuff's in a better state. It's close. It just needs some iterative, repetitive testing, and I just don't want to do that on stream. So, all right. We'll see you guys later. Yeah, I'm always on the Discord channel, so if you ever lost or have questions or whatever, just go there. I check it daily. Go. See you guys.